So Veterans Day used to mean something. It used to be a solemn, sacred moment to pause and reflect on the extraordinary courage of the men and the women who have worn our nation's uniform. And now, our president uses it as a day for photo ops and speeches that sound more like campaign rallies than it does honoring these veterans. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Let's get there by hopefully New Year's, all right? That's not too much to ask. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this stupidity, it's got to come to an end. Now, I want to remind you that one of the last times that Trump visited Arlington Cemetery, he got into an altercation with one of their workers. Let me show you what happened. In it, it turns out and says, Arlington Cemetery worker pushed aside by Trump aides. It goes on to say, an Arlington Cemetery employee was abruptly pushed aside by a member of Donald Trump's campaign staff while trying to warn them about filming at the burial site for military members, the U.S. Army said. The official was attempting to ensure Trump and campaign staff participating in a wreath-laying ceremony were adhering to rules which clearly prohibit political activities on cemetery grounds. And finally, Stephen Chung, a Trump spokesperson, disputed that there was a physical altercation and said the campaign was prepared to release video to confirm its account. The campaign did share some footage of the visit on social media on Tuesday, but the alleged altercation was not included. In his statement, Mr. Chung said, and I quote, "The fact is that a private photographer was permitted on the premises, and for whatever reason, an unnamed individual, clearly suffering from a mental health episode, decided to physically block members of President Trump's team during a very solemn ceremony." Now, let me be clear. If Stephen Chung's comments don't prove that the Trump administration's opinion of veterans is really low, then I really don't know how to convince you. You see, Trump doesn't just hate these fallen soldiers, he also hates average Americans. Why do I say that? Well, yesterday with Laura Ingraham, Trump said that people, get a load of this, that people abuse SNAP benefits, choosing to leave their jobs because getting SNAP benefits is easier. Play the clip.
Benefits, so they're used for the people who really need them?
It's meant for people. And you know what it does is it really puts the country at jeopardy. People that need it have to get it. I'm all for it. But people that are able-bodied can do a job. They leave their job because they figure they can pick this up. It's easier. That's not the purpose of it.
Look, let me be clear about something. This administration, they don't support our troops. They exploit them. They don't support Americans. They exploit them too. Trump, by the way, is still fighting the court order that is demanding, not requesting, demanding that Trump pay out SNAP benefits, and told Ingraham that is just too much money. He's not going to do it. It's just too much money. Play the clip.
System. Take a look at some of the welfare things that we're talking about. They've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled since I left office.
SNAP benefits have
well, SNAP has gone from
high.
Like $7 billion to many times $7 billion. And, you know, people keep talking about SNAP. But SNAP is supposed to be if you're down and out, you really, really have. That's what the purpose of it. People are getting, they walk in and they get it automatically now. So the number is many times what it should be. It's disgraceful.
Can we change
You wouldn't
that?
have been, I'll tell you what, this country would have been busted, 100% busted within 5 months into a new administration if I didn't win.
Can we reform SNAP and these benefits so they're used for the people who really need them?
It's meant for people. And you know what it does is it really puts the country at jeopardy. People that need it have to get it. I'm all for it. But people that are able-bodied can do a job. They leave their job because they figure they can pick this up. It's easier. That's not the purpose of it.
No, it's not the purpose of it. And it's also not what's happening. Now, sure, out of any, government agency, you're going to always find some people that are abusing the system. I get that. That exists in every place. But to turn around and to make this broad statement that people are leaving their jobs so that they can get SNAP benefits, sure, everybody wants to walk in with one of those EBT cards and be told what they can and can't eat. Trump also hates air traffic controllers, as we saw in his post yesterday. Laura Ingraham, she asked Trump where he plans to get the money for the $10,000 bonuses that he's offering them to stay at work. Play the clip.
Out a Truth Social post earlier today.
I did.
Where you blasted the air traffic controllers who had not shown up for work and offered potentially a bonus of $10,000 for those who have worked despite the shutdown. Are you worried that given the fact that we have a deficit of air traffic controllers still, I know we're trying to change that, that might be a difficult
No, we don't
position?
have much of a deficit, and we have a lot of people want the job. But I was not happy when I saw all these people, we have to... Look, life is not so easy for anybody. Our country's never done better. We should not have had people leaving their jobs. And what I basically did is say the ones that stayed, of which there were a lot of them, I'm sending them a $10,000 bonus.
Where's that money coming from?
I don't know. I'll get it from someplace. I always get the money from someplace regardless. It doesn't matter. I do a lot of bonuses for people because it's really something that, it's like the American way when you think about it. So here's somebody that goes and shows up every single day. Some of them showed up early because they knew there was going to be a problem. Those people should be rewarded. Others, we can't make it. We can't. You know, a lot of the people that showed up also had a second job. They took a second job temporarily, but they all know the money's coming, and the money was coming. So I want to reward the people that showed up without a lot of nonsense, without a lot of talk. They did their job, and in many cases, they worked longer hours to get us through this period.
Okay, time out here. Let me be crystal clear. One of the problems is the fact that people who are asked to come to work for now more than 5 weeks are not receiving their paychecks. In fact, the press got their hands on one air traffic controller. And the reason he said that he can't, show up to work is not because he doesn't want to work, not because he's not getting paid, but because he doesn't have money to put gasoline in his car and still be able to afford food for his wife and children. That's the reason. Trump also once again said that affordability, that word that's been going around now, simply because Trump doesn't like it, that Democrats are basically using it and American people are understanding this entire concept. He, of course, calls affordability a con job. Play the clip.
The economy was listed as a top concern. I know you know this, for voters in New Jersey, New York, Virginia. I know you've been all over the affordability issue today and for the last several months. Eggs, gas, dinner costs for Thanksgiving way down. But other things, as you noted, have gone up. Beef, coffee,
but they're going to come
auto
down very
repairs.
shortly.
Is this a voter perception issue of the economy, or is there more that needs to be done by Republicans on Capitol Hill or done in terms of policy?
More than anything else, it's a con job by the Democrats. They're saying, they just have to say, they put out something, say today costs are up. They feed it to the anchors of ABC, CBS, and NBC, and a lot of other, and CNN, and et cetera. And it's like a standard. I'll never forget, they had used a word like manufactured. Do you remember the word manufactured? It's a manufactured economy. Nobody uses that word. Every anchor broke the manufactured. They do exactly what they say. It's such a rigged system. So are you ready? Costs are way down.
Yeah, they are way down. And each and every one of you are probably feeling the cost cutting and the benefits from this administration right now. Meanwhile, Laura goes on to ask Trump about his 50-year mortgage idea. This is one that was fed to him by just maybe one of the dumbest and worst economic ideas of all time. Play the clip.
Housing costs are still out of reach. And another thing that your administration is trying to tackle, many Americans, the average age of first-time home buyers are now up to age 40, which is sad. The country you and I grew up in.
I inherited that. Look, you have to understand.
Right, but let me get to the question, though, because your housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So a significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is
50,
you pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor. It might help a little bit. But the problem was that Biden did this. He increased the interest rates, and I have a lousy Fed person who's going to be gone in a few months.
Yeah, let me be very clear about this. First of all, I have never seen a 40-year mortgage. I just have never. 30-year, we've all seen. 40, no. 50, did you see what it first said? An 86% addition in interest to the life of that loan. 86. Basically, you're paying double for the asset that you're purchasing. Meanwhile, Trump also admitted to Laura Ingraham that he didn't need to tear down the East Wing in order to build the ballroom. So I know the question that everybody's asking, which is same that I'm asking, why do it? Play the clip.
Well, first of all, the East Wing was a beautiful little tiny structure that was built many years ago that was renovated and expanded and disbanded and columns ripped out, and it had nothing to do with the original building. It was a poor, sad sight, and I could have built the ballroom around it, but it would not have been. We're building one of the greatest ballrooms in the world. By the way, zero money spent by the government, zero. The East Wing is being spent by private donors, and it's a $250, $300 million building. It's going to be the most beautiful anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Let me be very clear about something. When I see that money, then I'll turn around and say, but you know what? Don't discount the East Wing. It was part of the people's house. It's our house. And there was zero oversight in what was done. Zero. Now, Laura also asked Trump about how it's pro-MAGA to bring in foreign students to U.S. colleges. Specifically, they're identifying Chinese students. Now, Trump said that, this is insane, Trump said that our colleges would have to close if we didn't, especially HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. Now, let me be crystal clear about something. I'm not sure that hundreds of thousands of Chinese students are attending HBCUs, all right? Play the clip.
MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
You would have the
of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
Well, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French.
Yeah. Once again, this is just nonsensical rambling between two people. But finally, I want to end on this. Trump, like all of these good pressers, has to end on a ramble about magnets. Play the clip.
But it's so, President Xi was willing to do the rare earth thing, that's magnets. Now, nobody knows what a magnet is. If you don't have a magnet, you don't make a car. You don't make a computer. You don't make televisions and radios and all the other things. You don't make anything. It's a 30-year effort to monopolize a very important thing. Now, within 2 years, we'll have magnets, all the magnets we want, but we don't. Because of tariffs, I called. I said, listen, here's the story. You're going to play the magnet. I'm going to play the tariff on you. And for national security purposes, I raised the tariff by 100% over and above what they were paying, which was 55. So he was at 155%. Within 10 minutes, I got a call. We'd like to meet. And we settled it out. And we made a wonderful deal, great deal for our country.
Yeah, no, we didn't. Show me the deal. Look, this Veterans Day, the question we really need to be asking ourselves, it's not whether we will honor our veterans and their service. It's whether we're actually even worthy of it. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.